Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day, whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening. I'm glad you're here. Just wanted to throw my Instagram up here. If any of you guys are over on Instagram and would like to connect over there, I'm at the same handle at jevans underscore knife addict underscore life. And I want to take just a second to thank all the channel members. Thank you guys all more than you know. And then welcome anybody new here who hasn't, for whatever reason, subscribed yet. Hopefully you'll start liking the content. And when you're ready, just hit that subscribe button down below and that bell notification icon. Not only will it help the channel, but it'll notify you when I upload new videos. So I was going through some of my videos from last year, and I always do these kind of 5 different EDC fixed blades or 5 folding knives. Just for some reason, 5 is the number for me. So I noticed I'd done a 5 in 2022. I had a bunch of fixed blade EDCs. I've continued further down the rabbit hole. And so what I wanted to do is, since that was 2022 and we're, closing on the end of 2023, I wanted through today to go through my top 5 EDC fixed blades as they sit today in August of 2023. And these knives are going to be in no particular order, guys. The only knife that is going to be in the number one position is the number one knife, in my opinion, of 2023. That doesn't take anything away from the other 4. I want to make that perfectly clear, because every one of these knives could be my one and done EDC fixed blade, and I would be absolutely stoked. So the first of the 5 is the Griffin Company Scout 2.5. This is a wonderful little minimalist knife that is OEM'd by Bestech and designed by Griffen Company up in Canada. It has a nice lanyard tube, full tang construction, stone-washed S35 blade, very acute edge, beautiful, beautiful sharpening or cutting geometry. The grip for me is minimalist. It's not as thick as other grips, but it does not feel like it's going to twist in my hand. With the jimping, I've got plenty of positive purchase. This knife operates great in every single grip imaginable, and the sheath is a work of art. The retention on this sheath is sick. I can literally jettison it. So if I want to shoot a sheath at somebody before I have to shank them, I can just point it and let it go. But this is the Griffin Scout 2.5. I'll tell you guys, and you might have seen the scale swap I did on it. I ordered some micarta scales that I really loved. I love the feeling of them. Put them on, wore them for a couple of days. Noticed that the sheath, even though it had great retention, had just a little bit of rattle, because when you're forming kydex on the handles, it's going to kind of adhere to the handles that you're forming it to. So I'm not totally done with the OD green micarta handles or scales, but I went back to the carbon fiber. Glad I did. Guys, this is the knife I carry in my back pocket. I've got an ulti clip on it. I just slip it in my back pocket. I can just simply push the button and I've got the knife in my hand. It is not only a fantastic EDC knife, it is a great camp knife. It is kind of a great get anything done knife, and it would even serve a pretty strong purpose as a Slurpee saver. You got a little lanyard hole there if you like that. But one of my top 5 for 2023, one of the newer ones to the collection, but it's been carried a ton, and I've compared it. I've gone through all my fixed blades to make sure I'm not leaving something out or giving something preferential treatment because it's newer. But you will see some different knives in this 2023 rendition, because a lot of different stuff's come out, and my, I guess, likes and dislikes have changed. So another one of the top 5, we'll call it number 4, but this is in no particular order. I have absolutely come to fall in love with these T. Apprentices. So much so that I plan on adding several more T. Apprentices, both in different. I want a carbon fiber one with a stonewash blade. I want a more traditional micarta, where this is a vintage caramel micarta, which is just beautiful with an acid wash blade. But guys, this knife is super, super minimalistic. It is probably one of the sliciest knives in my collection, and definitely the sliciest fixed blade in my collection, because it's like a little razor blade, and it's got this poking tip that will really, I mean, get in there and get anything done that you need it to do. I also carry this knife either in my left pocket, but more often than not in my back pocket. It's very easy to draw. You've got a fantastic thumb brace there on that poon, and this knife locks into your hand. So heaven forbid you are in a self-defense Slurpee saving situation. This is a minimalist little knife that is mean. But what I find it more useful for is opening packages, making those cuts that you need to make during the day. Having it is just a go anywhere, very minimalistic, very light, very well balanced. What I think is one of the coolest EDC fixed blades I've come into contact with in quite a while. And this is from Mr. Tyler Denny, T. Denny Customs, if you go to Instagram. And this is the Apprentice. So fantastic knife, and definitely one of my top fives for 2023. Guys, this is a little knife that a video will be coming out in the next day or two, which is its, I guess you would call it, its dedicated review. I've had this in my pocket for the last, I don't know, 7 days straight. This came from T.Kell Knives. It's their smallest offering. It's the Parada in ADCR. It comes with this Kydex sheath and this discreet deep carry clip. Discreet Carry is the name of the company. They make a really cool clip that really locks into the hem of your pants and makes you be able to draw this. I almost like the light form factor of this clip better than the Ulti clip, even though they're really doing the same thing. If you look at the Ulti clip, it's going down, it's catching your pants just like this is. But I just find that that snap can sometimes be a little problematic, and it's a little heavier where this is very light. This knife carries in my back pocket. It's got this nice little jimping on the sheath, on the Kydex sheath here. It is an 80 CRV blade that has been heat treated through a course of heat treating that I can only direct you to the website, and I'll put it in the link for you guys to read about the 10-day process that each of these knives go through. It looks stonewashed, but it's really more this nitrate boron coating, and I probably just said that wrong, but it is a coating that T.Kell puts on all of his blades. It is not only a protectant, it is the same T1 coating that's used to coat bolt assemblies in pew-pews, if I'm not mistaken. So it's very heat resistant, very just element resistant, and just a very strong, brutal little knife. I mean, this knife fits my hand like a glove. It is small, but yet it's very thick. You've got this nice swedge up here toward the front, because at the end of the day, this is a tactical knife. It just happens to work very well as an EDC knife for those of us who like to carry fixed blades for our EDC. What I love about these knives is, one, they're made over in my neighboring state, Georgia, 100% USA made by a veteran-owned business. Every single part is sourced here in the United States. I love the way the grinds are done on all of Tim's knives. I don't know if you can see it here with that T1 coating, but you've got this step milling CNC that brings the grind down with these tiny little lines, very similar to Michael Martin's American Blade Works, a very similar process. You could see it on some of the larger knives, but it's here too, which really results in a perfectly even grind, a super sharp and slicey knife that I have beat the ever-living shit out of, and it still has a hair shaving edge. These little lashing bolts, I had asked Suzanne about these because I'd never seen them before, and I was curious what type of Allen wrench, what size you would use to switch these out, because they sell replacement scales. And these are actually proprietary is the wrong word. They are lashers or bolts that Tim could not find the ones he wanted locally sourced in the US. So he basically designed these, milled these, manufactured these, and patented these. You can buy them as an accessory if you have one that gets damaged. But I will put a link to T.Kell's website because this is the smallest of their knives. They've got a great line of EDC knives in other sizes. You know me, I like the smaller the better. But the T.Kell, made in America, lifetime warranty. This little knife is definitely one of my favorites. It punches way above its weight, has a great sheath. It's a great pocket dropper, and I love it very much. So going to the second of our five, I would be 100% dishonest if I did not tell you my new little J-Kal, my J-Kal mini street cleaver, and my OG original early gripper, or excuse me, early J-Kal Fixie. These are my three most prized possession knives. The reason they are number two is I can't say with all the confidence that I like my reviews to have that these knives have been put through the paces. This one has been. This one has been used. It has been sharpened. It has got a razor sharp edge on it. It's super thick. I carry it in this Kydex sheath around my neck. I love this little knife. It's got a nice dark Ultim handle. Just an absolute banger. This little J-Kal fits my hand perfectly. This little chisel grind. I am needing to send this knife and what I call my Main Street cleaver, my EDC cleaver, to Joe Lancelot Leather and get a couple of proper sheaths made so I can actually carry these two knives like I carry this one. But I can tell you the way a knife makes me feel and the value that I get from a knife is not necessarily how many feet of cardboard it can cut or how I can baton it through. This is not a batoning knife. This is a hollow grind slicer, but how it makes me feel. And I know when I have this Scout on my belt, or if I'm carrying it even in my pocket, I know I'm going to love having it on me. So look out 2024. I plan to bring some more J-Kals into my collection because I think the handles are absolutely ingenious. I think the way that Jason goes about making each one truly unique in his own, his skills speak for themselves. And I just absolutely love the J-Kals. If I put them in as my number one for 2023, when in fact I'd only carried one and only carried it, I can almost give this a tie for number one because this little knife, the handles are all the same. This little guy is an absolute box shredder. It's a utility knife. It is a Slurpee saver, and it's so minimalistic but yet hardy. Fantastic knife. The J-Kals are 100% winners. I could recommend a J-Kal from Jason Grant to any one of my friends, regardless of what your style in knives are. If you like a fixed blade and you can describe it, you can get a fantastic ergonomical handle with the blade style that you're after. So guys, oddly enough, the number one for 2023 is going to be a little bit expanded from 2022. So 2022, I acquired my first Jakeb Creates Chickadee. And this one I acquired from brother Honey Bear, who made it available for me on the secondary. It's a full flat grind S90V. Fantastic little knife. Came with this Kydex sheath, like all the J-Kals come with. Fantastic retention. I carry this knife appendix style. Both of these come with oak leather pocket dropper sheaths that are both very, very cool. I find that now that I'm carrying a slip joint in my left pocket, I prefer when I've got a small knife or a knife of this caliber to carry it in on my belt right by my buckle, appendix style. And guys, whether it's the S90V full flat grind, or one that I got, I think, after I did my top five, which is a 3/4 flat grind in Magna Cut. Um, I love this knife. I carry these knives at least a couple of times a week. They are so small. They are American made. They are heat treated properly by Jakeb. They're always dropping different knives, different variations. He's not afraid to work on different steels. I was on his Instagram a couple of weeks ago and he did a shop tour, and I was amazed by the limited number of tools it takes someone with his talent, or with Jason Grant's talent for that matter, to make knives that are so not just revolutionary, but fantastic. These little knives make me smile. I love carrying them. I love showing them to people. I love letting people handle them and see what they think about them. I think it's a great conversation. And to have you thought about carrying a small fixed blade? I mean, they are really the reason this was the knife that I saw that made me start experiencing different small EDC fixed blades, thinking I might get a Chickadee one day, but figuring I could find something that I like just as much, which I have. I mean, I found knives by Tucson, by other makers that I love, that I carry all the time. But what I had to do is some really deep soul searching and kind of find out for 2023, if I had to go pick out five knives, five styles of knife, however we wanted to look at that, how would I do that? And which ones would I pick? And guys, it was pretty easy. So I can take away the S90V, even though those go together. I won't put the other two J-Kals out there. I'll just pull my small little J-Kal. So my top five for 2023. Now, something can change. I could get another knife and I will update this. Small J-Kal by Jason Grant. The Griffin Company Scout 2.5. The T.Kell Knives Piranha. The T. Denny, Captain Tyler, and the Apprentice. And my friend Jacob Ginsberg, Jakeb Creates Chickadee. Fantastic knives, fantastic carries. Every single one of these knives I could recommend to a friend, and know that if you came back to me and said, John, I hate this freaking knife, I would buy it from you, because I know you wouldn't say that. And if you did, I'd buy it from you, as long as you didn't pay too much for it. But guys, thank you, thank you, thank you for checking out my content, checking out my video. I hope y'all like this content. Please leave feedback, what you'd like to see, what you'd like to see more of. I'm just, again, a little bit different because I share things that are already in my collection, that are constantly coming into my collection, and how they make me feel. And hopefully some of that information you guys can take and might find a knife that makes you feel the same way. Guys, I love you all. Thanks, channel members, and all. Please look out for that guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.